Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin Podcast. I am a woman on a mission to gather a cadre of writers, thinkers, and teachers who are transforming the world, one character at a time. And it all starts with one thing, a deep understanding of human motivation, why people do what they do, and the forces that drive them. To gain that understanding, I am mining the intersection of psychology, theology, and philosophy to make you a better writer. This is episode 127, Zettelkasten, Links, and Locations. Maddie, you continue to come up with some of the most amazing questions. And so once again, this video is for you. And Maddie is wondering about link cards. And when we get to the point where there are many links in both locations, how do you know which card to link to? So let's take a specific example and I'll explain exactly how that works, because you're going to link to one and only one card for any new card. So it's not as complex as you might be inclined to think. So let's take this as a new card. Maslow's hierarchy. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I was kind of interested to notice that Maslow's hierarchy corresponds amazingly well to the character trait groups. Well, if you look at this bottom two elements of the pyramid, the things that you just must have, you've got safety and security and physiological bodily needs. Those both fall under resilience, the struggle against the physical world. Then you've got love and belonging. Well, how could you have a more perfect match to empathy, the struggle to live in community? Then you have self-esteem, a perfect match for balance, the struggle to live comfortably within yourself. And self-actualization might take a little bit of a stretch, but it's probably a pretty darn good match for insight, because when you read the details about it, it has a lot to do with understanding. And insight and understanding are a perfect match. So, where would this card be filed? Now, it's about Maslow's hierarchy. That's the key thing. So, if there were already another card in the Zettelkasten that we're building that is about Maslow's hierarchy, you might think at first that, well, that's the perfect place for this card to go. It's about Maslow's hierarchy, and we already have a section that's developing Maslow's hierarchy. But maybe not. And it's not even all that subtle. It's really straightforward once you look at it. This card offers no new information about Maslow's hierarchy. If you've already got a section going on Maslow's hierarchy, you've already got a card in the Zettelkasten that notes what the levels of Maslow's hierarchy are. So this card contributes nothing to Maslow's hierarchy. What it contributes the new knowledge to is something about the character trait groups, and really, rather specifically, it ties by the nature of the struggle to the very character trait groups. One might almost say that Maslow's hierarchy is the character trait groups. It's talking about struggles, and so are the character trait groups. We might have found almost a one-to-one tie-in. That's going to be a really fruitful area to build out the study of the character traits. Would be to dive in a little bit deeper to Maslow's hierarchy. Are we going to find that the character trait subgroups also have an alignment there? What about the individual character traits? It would be a wonderful area to explore. So it really belongs most perfectly with the character trait groups organized by struggle, because Maslow's hierarchy is organized by struggle. Well, that's where you'd go into the index. And in the index, you would certainly come up with this card that we have seen before. The theory of character traits is the struggle. Now, this card we've already added to the Zettelkasten, and we say the struggle gives rise to the structure of the taxonomy, and it's the perfect thing to say, yeah, and it gives rise to Maslow's hierarchy as well. So, what do you say? 4D6A? Not so fast. We already have a 4D6A. Insights assigning a behavior to a character. We added that the other day. This was with regard to the game Dungeons and Dragons, and John Tanaka's remark about how interesting it is to assign a behavior to a character and see what happens. We're kind of a reversal of the idea of the character causing the behavior. So that card exists, and it belonged, the best place for that card was 4D6. And remember, the card chooses the parent, not the other way around. So, not to worry. If it also needs to be a direct child of 4D6, we simply know that we need to make one of those directory cards. And we now have 2 cards that go to the theory of character traits as a struggle. It has 2 children. All right. Now, where do the links come in? Okay. Let's say you had already a card on the Maslow's hierarchy. Let me get back to our card. Say you already had one right here that covered Maslow's hierarchy. And so a logical place that you might have filed that card was in Maslow's hierarchy. You didn't, but you might have. So here's exactly where the links come in. You take this card and you say, okay, let's just say I was gonna file it over in Maslow's hierarchy. Which card would be this card's parent? The card gets to choose its parent. If it didn't choose 6B, 6D, I'm already gone with it, 6D, if it wasn't going to choose to be with the character trait groups, what card over in Maslow's hierarchy would it choose to be associated with? That's one and only one card, because if you were going to place it over there, you would place it in under one and only one parent. Okay, got that? Now, are you ready for it? Okay, so the link that you would put on this card is going to be the link to what its parent would have been if the card had been filed over in Maslow's hierarchy. There's one link and only one link. Doesn't matter if we've got 700 cards on Maslow's hierarchy. The one that would be the parent to this card is the one this card links to. And what about the link backwards? Oh, that could be a lot of fun. All right, let's put the shoe on the other foot. I wouldn't do it, but let's say it's your Zettelkasten, you can do anything you want. Let's say you decided that, nope, it's about Maslow's hierarchy. By golly, I'm going to file it with Maslow's hierarchy. I could have put it with the character trait struggle, but nope, I decided to put it over in Maslow's hierarchy. Well, then you probably want to link back here, link back to the card that it would have chosen as its parent if you'd filed it with the character trait group struggle. What card would that be? It would be this card here. So now you have a choice, an interesting choice. The simple thing to do would be to put your link right here and point over to the spot in Maslow's hierarchy where you actually filed it. But you could, if you wanted to, you could make out the directory card and instead of giving this number B, put in the reference to the card over in Maslow's hierarchy, the number that you would have given that card, the number that that card got over in Maslow's hierarchy. So instead of being like 4D6B, it would be a whole card number, 5A3B-8 A, just 7 or something, whatever that card number that it actually got over there in Maslow's hierarchy, you could put it right here in a directory card. It would be a fabulous way of organizing your links. So thank you again, Maddie, for your excellent question. And I will respond to you did ask 2 questions, and I will respond to your second question in the comments. I don't want to tackle it here because it would involve setting up different cards, and it's on a slightly different topic, so I don't want to confuse things. But I do want to remind all of you before I check out for the day that all of these videos that I am organizing, you can find them all in 2 places. One place is right here on YouTube. They're in their own playlist. And another place where you can find them all is over on lilypub.org, where they're arranged as a course. The value of having them as a course is that they're organized as to topic, which my videos, because so many of them answer your questions, tend to bounce around a bit as to topic. So when they're brought over to LilyPub, they're organized by topic, and you also get to mark off which ones you viewed. So that helps you keep organized with what you're learning. There's no charge for the course once you get over to LilyPub. LilyPub does have member dues, which right now are $8 a month. If you join now, it doesn't matter, whatever the dues increase, you're grandfathered in at $8 a month US, and it's adjusted for local currency if you're not in the US. So that's all I have to say for today, and I hope you'll enjoy the video. Thank you. Bye-bye.